Happy holidays, Nicole. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not bad. I'm not bad. I'm well. I take that back. I've got sinus stuff going on, so I sound like I'm underwater, don't I?
No, you sound okay to me. It's probably just in your clouded head that you
Well,
sound.
if it could be what's in this too. This elixir to make me feel better has got like all this weird stuff in it, and I think some things that you can't legally have until you're 21.
That's interesting because it's not even 10 a.m. and we're recording this. You got your magic elixir.
Let's go.
It's the holiday season, right?
Yes, it is. Mazel tov. Oh, yes. Here we go. All right. Well, on that note, let's just jump into this. What do you
All right,
say?
let's do it.
Welcome, everybody, to the Real Agents Podcast, a podcast where our mission, should we accept it and drink it, is to discuss life, real estate, and everything in between. So if you like your advice and insight shaken and not stirred, well, then this is the podcast for you. That's Nicole Dash,
And that's Eric Carrington.
and we
And we
are
are
the
the
Real
real
Agents.
agents.
Nice. Nailed it. We've been doing this. It feels like we've been doing this now for 30 years and we finally got it right.
Yeah, basically.
All
That's about as long
right.
as it takes me to learn something, so it's
Well,
okay.
yeah, I think what's the rule if you do it 25 times or if you do it how does that work again? You got to do it 25 days in a row.
Oh, yeah, the habits. I don't
Yes.
know. I've heard conflicting stories on this.
Well, here's I'm going to challenge everybody listening to this. Go back and watch it 25 times in a row
Right.
and then or listen to it 25 times in a row. And then you'll become regulars and you can like and subscribe and give us a 5-star rating.
Yep. And leave a comment on every single episode you watch. Is that too much?
Absolutely.
That's too much, right?
No, I think that's exactly what they should do. Yes, yes. And then they'll be professionals. And that's what it is. You're not a professional at it until you do it 25 times. So there you go.
Okay, got it.
All right. Well, then on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to jump right into it. What do you say?
Woohoo!
Nicole, we're gonna leave that in. What would you like to discuss today? I know what we're discussing, but I want you to tell us what you'd like to talk about.
Well, today is the 1st of January 2024.
Okay, way to date the podcast.
What? It's true, right? It says it on the bottom.
Is it supposed to just live out there in the ether
Okay,
and
it is
no date?
sometime randomly in the beginning of 2024.
Okay. All right. We're
This
somewhere
is our
floating.
first 2024 episode.
Yes, it
And
is. Okay.
so, Eric, do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have some New Year's resolutions, ideas, plans
Ooh.
for 24 that you can share with everyone?
Well, then I can share. I from a business standpoint, I have made it my mission to reach out to all my past clients. Um, I have a pretty extensive list of former clients, but and you know as well as I do, when you've been doing this for 10 years, there's 10 years plus, or even 4 years plus. Some of those folks that you worked with early on in your career, there's a possibility you lose track of. Now, there's quite a few of those people who have become friends. I mean, I still hang out with my very first sale. I spent Christmas at a past client's house last year. Spent New Year's at a different client. And there's a lot of clients that I absolutely do spend a lot of time with and interact with on a regular basis. However, there is this list of clients that I probably have not touched as much as I should have, and that came out wrong. But you know what I mean by that. And my goal, my mission this year is to reach out to those folks and make myself more accessible. Remind them what I do for a living and how I can help them, with any issue they may have with their home, if they're looking, if their friends are looking, if they have questions about real estate, that I can be their resource. Because, I mean, just being honest with myself, I haven't been as good at that as I should have been. So I'm going to step it up this year in 2024. What
Oh,
about you?
that's awesome. And I believe you will too. I think
Yeah.
that's great. So yeah, so professionally, I also very similar. Um, Although I think I may copy you. No, of calling everyone. But really, I really want to focus on those referrals from past clients. I want to work on my sphere of influence, really getting more people who are in my network already, just to know and think of me when they're thinking about real estate, right?
Yeah.
So, um, I do post on social media. I think a lot of my friends and family on there do see some activities, but I'm not as consistent. And I think I want to come up with some plan to kind of let them know, like, hey, here, I'm here. If you have for all your real estate needs, I can help you. So I think that's going to be a goal of mine for 24.
I really do. I get jealous because you've stepped up your social media game quite a bit, and a lot of our coaches and folks on our team keep pushing the social media aspect of our business, and I just I find it hard to embrace that. And I don't want to use the excuse I'm just not good at it because anything I put my mind to, I'll be okay, I'll be adequate at. Um, I think it's more of a timing thing. Like I try to find time to do it, and I just can't see. I haven't figured out how to work that into my schedule. But that's another thing that I really think I need to step up. And I see you've done it. I see so many other people on our team have done it. But stepping up that social media aspect, I think, is going to be really important. And that's another. I'm going to tack that on my list of things to step up in 2024. So thanks for
See,
saying.
so
I'm copying you.
we're borrowing each other's.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
good. That's how you do it.
All right. Well, speaking of 2024 and shining the crystal ball, what are some of the things you think are going to happen in 2024? How do you see our industry moving along? Do you see um, trends in listings, trends in sales, trends in interest rates? What are you hearing?
So, this may be wishful thinking too. I don't know if it's crystal ball predictions or wishful thinking, but I meet with a lot of people who are thinking of selling one day, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I haven't had many that are like I have to sell in the next 3 months, right? It's more
Yeah.
like we want to sell by 25, let's say. And a lot of them are telling me 2025, 2025. But at the same time, in the same breath, they're saying unless something shifts first, right? And so
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there are just a lot of these people sitting on the sidelines watching the market, trying to figure out when is the strategic time to sell, because especially if they have to also buy, right?
Yeah.
How do you do it to maximize the money you can get for selling, but at the same time maybe not pay 7 8% in an interest rate when they buy? So that interest rate really does play a factor into it. And so we'll see. I know we're getting a lot of good like indicators,
Hmm.
and you can talk a little bit about that, about from all of our mortgage friends and lenders, what they're saying.
Yeah, all the economic indicators and all the lenders are saying that the interest rates are going to come down in the first quarter. No one wants to pinpoint what number they think it's going to be at because that would be kind of throwing a number up against the wall and seeing if it sticks. But the scuttlebutt, love that word. The scuttlebutt is somewhere in the sixes, maybe high fives, low sixes, something like that. And if that actually does happen, I think that we are going to see a lot of buyers uh, hit the market again, and hopefully that will spark more listings because the problem we're seeing, I mean, and we've talked about this over and over again, is there's just not enough listings for the number of buyers. And I don't think that's, even if everything stayed the same, that will obviously still be the issue into 2024. There will be more buyers than there are listings, and that will continue to drive prices up. Um, if interest rates change, and do come down to a more usable or acceptable number, I really think that is going to spark those folks like you're talking about who are sitting on the sidelines and not putting their homes on the market. I think that will encourage them to put their homes on the market because yeah, we're still gonna go in this trajectory. Prices are still going to go up, as long as those buyers are still there, and I don't see those buyers going away. Um, but hopefully, we will see folks put their homes on the market, because that's been the biggest issue. It's no one
Yeah.
wants to, no one wants to give up that 2.7 for a 7.5,
Yeah.
and I can't blame them.
No, I can't blame them either. I mean, I don't think we're going to see 2 to 3 ever again. I mean, I say
No,
that. I mean, I just don't think we're going to see that. And so there are those people who are really took advantage of that time and refinance into that lower interest rate. And so they're like, we're never selling. My husband the other day was like, we're never selling this house. I was like, well, he's like, well, we could rent it out one day. I was like, okay, I'm good with that. That's it. I'm fine with that because it's a great interest rate. Our payment is on
yeah,
our single family home less than some clients who are buying starter townhomes, like
isn't it crazy? Yeah,
they're paying
it's
more per month. So I totally understand the pain point, like, from sellers. I totally get it. But what I worry about, well, not worry about, but what, in this perfect storm scenario, interest rates drop, all these buyers who are also on the sidelines jump in, and then prices skyrocket, right?
yeah,
Because the demand
yeah.
is so high. But then all of the sellers jump in, and all of a sudden there's
There's a
more.
glut.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what happens at that point? Do prices come down if more sellers jump in than buyers, or the buyers? I mean,
I
that
just
would not be good either for us, for
No, it
for my
wouldn't.
son.
I just think that's so hard to happen here, because we've always had a seller's market here, and there's always been more buyers than inventory. And I just can't see that flip. I mean, I would love it. I would love to the exercise of having too many homes and see how that would work out. I know ultimately that's not what you want to see, but our days on market, I think, even when I started in this business, we were like, I think the national average days on market was like 3 months, and our average was a month and a half, something like that. So we've always trended, less than the national average, and it would take, I think, something really special. I mean, for there to be, this glut of homes that hit the market, and for some reason our buyers, go away, or they're just too scared because of interest rates. But I don't know. I mean, any kind of change is good, right? I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
think so. I think, and honestly, what seems to move that needle more than anything is that media attention, that awareness, right? It's
Yeah.
like stuff starts coming up in the news and people start having like knee jerk reactions to it, more than even just like, I could call or email every single person in my database and be like, look, this is the time. This is the time.
Yeah.
Take advantage.
Uh-huh.
Until they hear the news talking about it in social media and like all these other voices, and they hear it from multiple sources, even though they trust me, it's they're not making that move until they feel like, oh, no, 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 I have to let, like,
Yeah, they've got to
sense
hear
of
it from another
urgency.
source.
Yeah,
Yeah, another source has to confirm it for them. I mean,
yeah,
we can say it, but until someone else, certifies it, sometimes
yeah.
they don't listen. Let's talk about reality. Um, this is the fourth quarter. Well, we're starting the new quarter, but on the listing side, Nicole, how has activity been for this fourth quarter of 2023?
So, we have been putting on some houses in the last quarter, but our focus has really been about getting as many people to sign for 2024 as possible.
Smart.
We had a little goal within the listing team that everyone needed to get. I think it was starting in November, right? By the end of the year, we each needed to have 3 new clients signed for 2024. So,
Yeah.
to give us like a nice jump start. We know that you will have a good year if you already have some clients signed up and ready to go, before the new year starts. So, I got two. I have one more I am meeting with next week before this airs, but I am hoping I get my third before January 1st. It looks good, so it's good. It's trying to set us all up for success, and it's not always easy, right? Because again, we have those clients that are just talking about, well, yes, I want to sell, but they're non-committal on the date, and so without we don't I don't ever want to come across like, you know, well, you got to sell now. You got to sell now.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
want to support them and when it's right for them, but at the same time, I want to guide them with the best advice possible, and I don't want them to miss out on something because out of fear, right? Because a lot of times, fear is the main thing holding them back.
What is a reason to and I'll preface this by I tell my clients, my buyers, that this is typically the time of the year where you could negotiate a deal. So, from the listing side, what are the reasons why someone would put their house on in the fourth quarter? And is that part of the reason why you don't push so hard? Because this just isn't the best time of the year to list your house. And if you could wait, you would wait till the first quarter of 2024. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, it's all about timing on what's happening with them because
Yeah.
if they were lucky enough to buy and take advantage of a little better negotiation period in that last quarter, and then they have to sell, right? Because they've
Mhm.
bought. And so they took advantage of the
Yeah. Yeah.
buying, and so now they have to sell. So I had a couple of people like that that had that opportunity. And then I had a couple of, I had one lovely woman who was going to, a retirement community, assisted living
Oh, okay.
community, and her space opened up. And so, sometimes, and for her, honestly, original owner, fully paid off home, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
For her, it didn't matter, right? Her goals are different than maybe someone
Yeah.
else's goals. So, and we made the house look nice and we staged it and we got a good price for it. Was it pushing a record for the neighborhood? No, but that wasn't fitting in
That
with what
wasn't the goal. Yeah.
that wasn't the goal. And so that's, it just depends on who you're working with and why they're moving is really the answer.
My fourth quarter has been interesting. I'm just gonna say it. It's been a struggle. All my
Mm,
clients want to wait, and far be it from me to push hard. That's just not the way I roll. We're active, we're looking, but there's really nothing, for my particular clients that encourage them to act right away. So, my fourth quarter's been a bit of a downer.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying it. Now, as soon as we get done with this, I'm showing five houses and
Wow.
a couple of condos, and then tomorrow I've got a bunch of showings. But I'm
Are
not a
those,
hard sell kind of guy, and
yeah.
so it's hard for me to get excited about homes that aren't exciting.
Well, and do you find this time of year what's left, like right now, what you're about to show, are they just kind of like the leftovers, or are you seeing there aren't a ton of new listings, right, going
So,
on right now?
you know what this is like? This is like when you go to the Chinese buffet an hour before they close.
Mm.
And this is just the food that's been sitting under those hot lamps for the last 3
Yeah.
hours, and it's like none of it looks
No.
appetizing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I had a split level in Springfield, and they went ahead and bought and moved to Roanoke, and we just had some paint touch ups, and we were going to get staging done, and the goal was to get this on the market the second week of December, right?
Yeah.
So that we could like get it on. I thought it would go under contract quickly. They were happy with this plan. The stagers arrive, and the floor on the main level was like water damage
What?
because it was vacant and I guess the water line in the fridge was leaking.
Ugh.
So we had to rip all the floors out, fix the issue, put new floors, and we just had it staged like this last week, photos taken, but we decided we're holding till the first week of
Well,
January.
that's what I was gonna say. I mean, does
Yeah.
that shift the goal?
Yeah. Yeah,
Now you
absolutely.
now you have to maximize. You gotta make that
Yeah.
money back. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and also it's like, okay, there's a difference between putting it on the market the 14th of December, and then, oh, even 1 week gets you to
Yeah.
Christmas weekend. So it's like, are we going to put it Christmas weekend? No. Are we putting it New Year's weekend? No. So we're waiting till that first week of January, and I think it'll be worth it for sure. But
Absolutely.
waiting.
I really do think it everything's going to shut down here. I mean, I say that and I'm out showing, but
Yeah,
it pretty much does shut down. I mean, there's today. What is today? Thursday? Good Lord. What
yeah.
is
We're
it?
not supposed to date
Yeah.
ourselves.
I know. Well,
Right before Christmas, Thursday before Christmas.
and yeah, there's hardly anything came on the market today, and I don't anticipate tomorrow we're going to see a glut of homes hit the market either. But I mean, there's still, there are still great homes that do come up. There's always one every weekend. That's
Hmm.
awesome, and
Right.
I talked to other people who are actually selling homes where they compete. They've been competing every week.
Mhm.
And I have written, and yeah, I've competed and lost, unfortunately. But nothing that I would encourage folks to go crazy over. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like write
Right.
that really bizarre, crazy, gotta have it offer. And I don't anticipate that for another 2 or 3 weeks.
No, no. And this, because that's interesting. Like when you say competing, it's not the same as competing like in early February or
Yeah.
March, where when you're competing, that means you're putting, escalation clauses that are like well above asking, waiving all the contingencies. What I find is, even on the homes that I get multiple offers on, we aren't going that much higher necessarily than
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
maybe they're doing like void only home inspections, and so there is some competitiveness to it, but not it's not the same
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. The crazy offer isn't winning. It's just a decent offer.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of
Yeah.
people are starting at a low ball.
Hmm.
And you may get
Yes.
2 or 3 low ball offers and one that comes in at full price. And it's like, okay, jump on that one.
Yeah, and you're
Okay.
like, winner, full
Yeah.
price.
There you go. Woo, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, 2024. What do you think? You gonna kill it?
Yeah, I am. You know what? I feel like 2023, for whatever reason, was almost, and I think it's because I had a baby at the very end of 2022. So, going through all of 23 with a infant and, turning one. And I feel like attention was divided a little, which
Yeah.
it should be, right? Like I'm fine with that. Um, but I'm ready. I'm ready to take off
You've
and
taken on a ton of
soar.
responsibility too. I mean,
I have.
yeah, you are doing so much and getting so much done. I don't know how you're the greatest juggling artist I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you. I have. I kind of, but I feel like at the same time, maybe that's impacted my sales. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, because I'm taking on more leadership responsibilities, helping with marketing, doing a little bit more with the team, which I love. I love doing all of that.
Yeah.
But I also need to balance it with like, killing it because that's my main job.
Well, and that's what
Yeah.
look, I would love to say that that's the reason why I don't,
Yeah.
volunteer to do all this fun stuff because I need to focus on my work. But I mean, really, if I tried
Yeah.
to add any more to anything, I would be lost. But that's partially because my brain doesn't work properly. Um, but yeah, I'm jealous of everything that you can get done and the amount of effort that you put forth every day and everything you're asked to do and still be successful. It's just yeah, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. Good for you.
Thank you. You're sweet, Eric. And you
Oh
you do a lot too. You're kind
yeah,
of you're a leader within the team, and people look to you for advice a lot. And
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I got to dress up as Santa Claus the other day, and yeah, that's my major contribution to the team.
you bring the fun, Eric. You bring
Oh
the
yeah,
fun.
sure. Sure, if you say so. Sure. I'm pretty sure I embarrassed my son quite a bit. So anyway,
Oh, I need to ask him about that. At least you weren't doing the leaps. We had that was great. It'll be ingrained in my head forever. Our elf doing his leaps.
he was amazing. He was absolutely amazing. Okay, our what he was our guest last week, Kevin.
Yes, Kevin.
Kevin
Kevin.
was the elf and he was phenomenal. He was way better than Buddy ever could have been. He was Kevin the elf and he was
Oh,
amazing.
and he was in character the whole time.
Oh yeah, he
Like
killed it.
it was good. Like you both were really good. Yeah.
He
That
killed
was
it.
good. We had our little holiday office party, Secret Santa exchange, and you guys made it
None of
all
my jokes were
worthwhile.
inappropriate.
No, none
None
at
of
all.
I'm going to share one right now.
No.
What did no, this is a good one. I love this one. What did one snowman say to the other?
What?
You smell carrots? That joke is awesome. Share that with everyone.
Such a dad.
Yeah.
Definitely a dad joke.
All right. On that note, I think that's a perfect place to wrap up this wonderful podcast. It's always awesome hearing your thoughts and your insight, Nicole. You bring it. You always have something fresh and informative to say. So thanks for another awesome podcast.
Oh, thank you. I love doing this, Eric.
All right. So if you like that and you enjoyed it and you want to hear it again, be sure to come back next week. Or not next week. Look, the producer's giving me side eye right now. He's like, no, you dummy. Come back again for Real Agents of Fun.
Real Agents of Change.
And Real Agents of Real
Estate.
We'll see you in the new year.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Oh wow, that was wow. And we're back.
And we're back.
I love
we don't need to be back. It is just a break for me.
Oh my God, leave that all in. Please leave that in.
It's not going to be left in.
Oh, yes, it is. All right.